Okay. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Divine Feminine Oracle Show. My name is Meg, and I will be your host this evening. And as you can see, Julie is not here. Our regular, amazing, magical host, Julie, our soul sister, is not here at the moment. She is on vacation, so I am subbing in for her this week and next week. And we've got a really special show this evening because we've got our friend and soul sister, fellow Oracle, Solretta here. Woo!
Yay! Hi, Soretta.
Hi.
Thank you so much for having me. It's such an honor to be part of the Divine Feminine Oracles tonight.
Yes, thank you for joining us. It is so exciting to have you here with us. And Sophie, how are you doing this evening?
I'm good, thank you. And you?
Very good, very good. So this is my first time, everyone, hosting a show. So please bear with me. I'm, doing all the technical stuff at the same time as hosting. So we've got the technological gods on our side this evening, so we can give you the best possible show. So we're going to go over some very interesting topics tonight. We're going to look at, from our divine feminine perspectives, some of the current energies, current astrology, some other things that we're intuitively feeling to bring up. And also, if any of you guys have questions for Sophie or Solretta to answer with the tarot or intuitive guidance, please share your questions in the comments or the super chats, and we will try to get to as many as possible. So, and also, guys, please remember to like and share this video if you enjoy this content on the MAISON Jupiter YouTube channel, to subscribe to that, and also to subscribe to the BeyondMystic YouTube channel. We are live on both of those right now. So, okay, let's see here. First, I want to ask you guys, how are you enjoying doing the weekly forecast that we're all doing? The three of us are the weekly Beyond Mystic oracles. So we'll start with you, Solretta. How are you enjoying doing your Beyond Oracle weekly forecasts?
Yeah, I absolutely love it and just love being part of the team. I think my favorite thing is just tuning in with spirit, before the show. Usually a day or two before, I'll just say, right, please show me what it is that you want me to share, what's really relevant, and especially to the soul family of the Beyond Mystic, network that we've got here, and all of the audience. I really sort of tune in to us as a whole, as the collective. So they usually will show me as like little downloads and, images, messages, feelings. I have some things come through in dreams. And when I confirm with the cards, it's always like the same message. So yeah, I just love the energy of feeling into everyone, and I just feel their love. It's just, it's gorgeous.
That's awesome. Yeah, there's so much love, isn't there, in this community? It's very nice to be a part of. That's awesome. And Sophie, how are you enjoying doing your weekly Beyond Tarot forecasts and the pick a card readings?
The pick a card is a different energy than the weekly forecast, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
The pick a card is more, I take my time, I give you more, it's a more personal message. The weekly energy is more collective energy. But I just love to start my week with reading what is the next energy for this week and to just know how to use it. So it's really great to do that.
Yeah, amazing. Yeah, I've been having so much fun, especially reading everybody's comments and getting that feedback. And I've been noticing it on all our videos that people, for the most part, are resonating with what we're saying, and we're giving inspirational, good messages that are helping to support people. And I also noticed that without each of us talking, like the three us oracles talking, we tend to be giving like similar messages. Have you guys been noticing that too, that we sometimes say the same things? Solretta, do you notice that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Just even I was catching up on one of the Divine Oracle show and just tuning into the message that you guys had. I think it was one of the older ones. It was the Valentine's Day one. Mm-hmm. And just hearing you guys talk about everything, I'm like, it's so funny, like how we're all on the same wavelength. We're all in tune. And I think that's why we've kind of, gathered together too, that we are like tuning into, I always think of it like a stream. So it's like this thread thread or this stream of energy. And I know when I'm reading for my clients, it's like you feel into it and you'll catch like a drift of something. So I think we're all kind of vibrating around that same frequency. So it's so interesting. It's like confirmation and clarification for me when I see your messages. I'm like, yes, that's good. It's like, on point with where we're going. And, it just gives me that extra little boost of, okay, we've got this to get through the week.
Yeah. That's awesome. Did you want to say something, Sophie?
Yeah, obviously it would be okay to have different message also. It would be okay that we are picking up on different part of the collective or a different part of the energy. It would be fine. But to know that we are reading on the same energy most of the time and that we are just connecting through that together as a tribe, for me, it's just something that's very special. And yes, it's confirmation, but in the same time, I think we all add different layers of the same message.
Yeah. It's so cool. I wonder if maybe the three of us did something in a past life or something.
Oh, I want to take cards on that if it's okay.
Ooh, yes, please.
Yeah. Okay, good. Let's check. I just want to make sure that you both are okay with this.
Of course.
Yes.
Okay, good. So let's check. I want to see if we have past life connection. Okay, what is there? Oh, we have been killed together, guys. I did not expect that. Okay, so this is my Elvis deck. It seems a bit more happy than it should be, but we have being tied up, we have cruelty, and then we have Titanic, which is a slow dying. Let me just pull some card of the tarot deck just to add an extra layer on that. Yeah. So I think we were in more than one past life together. We have the Two of Cups, the Six of Cups, and the Empress. So we were definitely female. We were in that power of the divine feminine, and we were in that power of the divine feminine power. I think it's the witch power. I think it's the intuition. I think it's helping others, healing, and with their intuition and with their life. And we were definitely in that energy, trying with the shield to protect others through our main gift, and we were killed for that. So we know each other from past life.
Wow, that's really yeah. That is really fascinating with me, and that's making me realize too that when I first saw both of you guys, I've been able to meet Sophie and JC and Julie in person so far. I haven't met Silretta yet. This is actually my first time meeting Silretta, so that's why I'm like so excited and smiling the whole time. With both of you guys, I felt like I knew you before. Just this kind of knowing like, okay, oh, that's Silretta. Okay, that's Sophie. So yeah, that resonated a lot, Sophie. Thank you for that. Do you guys notice, I notice this a lot with clients and even personal like-minded friends, that a lot of us have those witch wounds. Have you guys ever heard that term before? Like the wounds from lifetimes where we've maybe been killed or, tortured for the gifts that we have. Is that something that you guys ever notice?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. Lots of clearing on it. Last year, for I'd say the last 8 months, it's been coming up in so many readings. The fascinating thing is that I'll get different cards that will represent different energies. So like I've had, if kings come up, it's usually been that there's been people that have been, executed or like, drowned or fire, all the witch trial things. But then if it's an emperor that's come up, and usually you'll feel the energy. So when I read the cards upside down and flip them, it'll really just be confirming it. So when we have an emperor come up, it's that someone was kind of selected for being kind of the, I guess, the top of the healers or the top of the herbalist or top of the, oracles and things. And with the emperor coming up, it's usually that they've chosen to take this person and have them kind of held captive, or they've chosen to take them and say, we're going to use your power to help for the greater good. And sometimes there was relationship energies with these emperors. And it's only very rare that this is coming up. But then I've seen that it's been, the person's chosen to turn off their gifts and power because they haven't wanted to use their gifts, I guess, just for one person to kind of have that rulership or that leadership. And so it's been heaps of contracts, agreements. We've been doing like a lot of release work and a lot of clearing out the core emotions that are really connected to, so they can kind of quantum jump back into the power, back onto the path that they're supposed to be on. So heaps of healing around that.
Wow, yeah, I find that too. What do you guys think are some of the best kind of methods for people to release those maybe witch wounds that we have? Or is there another word that you guys would call it, just like maybe even past life wounds from when we've been persecuted or killed? Are there any kind of healing methods that we can maybe recommend to anyone? I'm seeing people in the chat saying, yeah, French Inquisition, anyone, I've been a witch. Like there's a lot of people resonating with this right now. Sophie,
can I just ask you first, if you do see that in your consultation, what do you see in the natal chart that represent that?
You know what's interesting? I usually see with the South Node, because the South Node is one of the parts in the chart. The South Node and the moon in particular can show things in past lives. So a lot of the time, depending on what's going on with the South Node, sometimes I notice when the South Node is in the sign of Scorpio in someone's birth chart, or if it's in the 8th house or a Scorpio degree, 8 degrees or 20 degrees, a lot of the times I feel, do you ever feel like you've been killed for something, being a witch or spiritual or something like that? I notice it with that. And I also notice it sometimes when Saturn or Pluto is conjunct the moon.
Okay.
So yeah, there's some different things in astrology that can show that too.
Yeah.
So yeah, what kind of healing methods do you think would be good for people that maybe have really intense wounds that are from past lives that are carrying into this life?
Well,
So
obviously, I would go with a past life therapy first.
yeah.
The way that I see it in my consultation is this: there's usually a blockage with fear. So when someone has, let's say, you're just using the natal chart, a North Node, which represents the mission, if they know what is their North Node, or if they feel that they're not fulfilled, but they have some kind of I want to go towards maybe Reiki or the cards, or I want to go towards those things, but I have a blockage. Usually it's fear. So I recommend that you face that with past lives. If you have past lives that are causing this blockage, if you don't have this blockage from past life, then I recommend that you do a full cleanse of the chakra and you add an extra layer of protection in the house. And then you start practicing with your intuition slowly. What do you think, Saretta?
Yeah, I love that. That's such a good answer. And really powerful techniques too, especially with clearing the chakras, because what I've seen, like with my background as a kinesiologist as well, and I've done a bit of hypnotherapy and things, is that sometimes we will hold those core, not only just, I guess, wounds, but emotions in chakras. And you'll see when you look at it aurically, sometimes there'll be like a bent rod or a little cone inside the chakras. So it's definitely important to clear that out and add the protection. I found through taking clients years ago, I would do more kind of like regression hypnosis, but because my background's more specialized in ET contact and, filming UFOs, things like that. So I would also do regressions around abduction and clearing trauma in that. But one technique I find that's, like one of the quickest things to release when there's past life wounds, I'll identify what emotion is at the core of that lifetime. So say it usually has been coming up around feeling betrayed, when it's been, the persecutions and things. It's either been like family or friends that have jobbed the person in as being a healer or being, a mystic or a psychic, things like this. So when we clear that core emotion and wound of being betrayed, we can actually sort of flip it back over. So I'll just grab this. I've actually got like a little kinesiology tool, a little chart. So this is available on Google. You can see it's like 20 something years old. It's an old one. But this is kind of like body level, like about 0 to 7. This is around adolescence and around adulthood. So usually we're finding it's under fear of loss. And you can see, or actually, where is it? Oh, under grief and guilt. So there's the energy of betrayed, which is related to feeling conquered, discouraged, unacceptable, self-punishing, kind of defeated, despondent, ruined. These are all the emotions that tend to come up when we're clearing past life stuff. But on the equal opposite side, it's actually about equality and tapping back in to cure it or to kind of heal that into feeling lucky, cooperative, involved, purposeful, reliable, concerned, sincere, and productive, which is everything we actually need, to reclaim our gifts and power. So I usually will go in, find out where it is in the body or chakra, what lifetime it is, and actually just use a magnet. So I'll get my clients to run and grab a refrigerator magnet, or they'll use the little magnetite crystals. And yeah, we just swipe it out of the chakra. I take them through specific sentences that actually will clear and release. And especially with them being hidden or trapped, because our energy field will be like a computer. And it's like, unless you type into the file properly to access, sometimes it's a little bit harder to kind of, our bodies are quite clever at cloaking. And especially when we look into the quantum bodies or the aura, like mental, emotional, physical, spiritual. So yeah, that you feel the energy shift. And I see it within my clients' aura that all of a sudden their energy just sort of will go boom into, bringing their power back. So yeah, definitely feel into it. If you guys have got anything coming up that are in the audience, or booking sessions with the oracles as well, is also really good to kind of help fast track things.
Yeah, that's amazing. Thank you guys for sharing those different techniques. I feel like it's interesting that came up like right away as soon as we started the show. It was like, yep, we've got some things to clear from the past lives. So that is super interesting. I really like this comment by Jacqueline Atkins. I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly, Jacqueline. She says, which wounds really show up when people start their own business and have to use their throat more powerfully while feeling safe? I definitely notice that with clients and friends, that they'll start to maybe have those memories or dreams coming up around the past lives when it's a time of stepping into empowerment and sharing their gifts out in the world. So thank you for that comment, Jacqueline. What are you guys noticing as themes in your consultations in the past couple weeks? Anything in particular that you're noticing, Sophie?
Yeah, well, we're still in the, I cannot wait. Still, I'm not going to have the word purge in my vocabulary. I cannot wait until it's done. I just cannot wait for the month of March. I know you are in the month of March. I am not yet in the month of March because I am in Canada, but I will join you in a few hours. So in the consultation this week, it has been a lot of ending still, a lot of purge, and a lot of sacrifice, exchange of energy. That's a better word of it. I'm trying to change how we phrase things because there is a silver lining. We are close to the eclipse. So what is asked to be the Tower moment, what is asked to leave your life is meant for you to not pursue that option, and what is coming to your life is meant for you. So it's an energy exchange when we exchange the old for something new. I think that we're releasing a lot of fairy tale things that we tried to hang on to for so long because that was our perfect idea of the family, of the house that we wanted, of the job, of the relationship. And we're being asked to release it, to exchange it for something else. Do you see that also?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, did you want to go back?
Go ahead, Loretta. Yeah.
Thank you. So yeah, and it's interesting. I guess like being really visual as well. Spirit will always kind of show me in movies or visions and hand movements and gestures and things. But sometimes also interesting like tastes and smells and things. But what's coming through is, I guess, like the action to take around kind of speeding up the purge. So I just had in the reading that we just did this morning on here as well, where we were talking about like a different land actually coming in and vibrating. And I've been seeing this vision of a cloud come in. And when I kind of looked behind the cloud or behind the veil, I saw this whole other city that was anchoring that had, beautiful kind of like Asian rooftops and little gold trim and things. So with this coming in and anchoring, we're also got an alignment and a new anchoring with the new kind of like upgraded version of self too. So there's a lot of crystalline energy that we can tap into. So it is kind of the purging of a lot of things on the physical. And, I found that myself, that not only myself, but my clients were going through like mini deaths. So it was only, I think, in start of February, I was in hospital for like a quick procedure and I never get sick. So that was really, quite a shock. But I found like when I woke up from the mini surgery that it was like, I felt very different. I actually felt like it was the death of the old version of me that had kind of purged out all these other things. So it's almost like with our consciousness, there's like different pop-up screens that are coming up onto the computer at the moment that are our subconscious mind. So if we can try not to feel into them, or try not to feel, reactive in that, and just kind of look at it like, okay, how do I, debug, or what's the best way to stop these pop-ups happening? I find that if we look at it as a flip and look at it as the equal opposite, so just like in that little emotional chart, if we can identify like what the core wound is that we're trying to purge, and to look at it as, I guess, our brain, the part of it that's called the amygdala, is like the old fear response, is kind of like where our fears and traumas and things might kind of pop up and show their head. So if we look at that as just a little bird that's trying to bring it to our awareness, it's almost like, okay, thank you for, bringing that to my awareness. What is the equal opposite that I'm actually wanting to pull myself towards? And it's also about like running the frequency through your body, that we don't have to have all of the answers. We don't need to feel exactly like we're in that state of perfection, but it's to kind of start leaning into this new version of self that we're seeing. So I'm seeing there's a whole nother version of us that's on that crystalline, I guess, vibe that we can feel into, and we can kind of start to get to know that version of self. And the more that we meditate, the more we do hypnosis and subconscious reprogramming, the more that we're actually going to come into alignment with that version of self, and it will be easy and effortless. It will be hard with things coming up and going, but they'll move a lot faster.
Very interesting. Sophie, are you feeling that too, like a new earth, a new, like Silretta's talking about, kind of world coming in, a new possibility for us?
Well, it's a bit different for me. I think that, yes, we have a lot of change, but the way that I see it, correct me if I'm wrong, tell me what you think about that also. What I feel is that we're not, and I talked about it last week, I think, we're not really having set in stone future yet. So there is possibilities coming in. There is different ways that we can go about it. So when you say there's a new world, I completely get it. I completely agree with you. I'm just not sure that it is set in stone yet. I think we still have to act on it to maintain what is our optimal version of it and what we want it to be, and to manifest it. If we just let it go, let others do the action, it may not reflect what we want in this new world.
Yeah, go ahead, Silretta.
Yeah, definitely. I'm sort of seeing it as like an opportunity or an option. So it's like, it's like, okay, if you want this, it's here. But also if you want this is here too. So it's about changing our frequency and getting into alignment with that new version of Earth. The other thing that I sort of saw from Spirit was they were showing like different epochs and different times. It was almost like this Tartarian Empire energy coming back. So it's kind of, different realms and different places that already kind of coexist, or like a multi-dimensional energy. And we've got this dance happening at the moment. So it's like, if we choose to, we can get up and dance with the music and vibe with this frequency that's coming in. So, but yeah, a lot of people, they won't hear the music, or they won't have the headphones in, or they'll choose, no, I need to go on this path, or I still need to learn this lesson.
That is so cool. What do you guys think are some good ways that we can suggest to our community listening to embrace that new earth, or that new frequency, whatever we want to call it, the most effortlessly? What would be some good ways or good practices that we can do that? What do you think, Silretta?
I'm actually getting guided just to pick some cards on it to have a look, like for the collective. Is that okay?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, perfect. So I'm just going to tune in. Okay, so I'm just feeling everyone's lovely energy. So thank you everyone for joining us tonight as well. Okay. So I'm just getting guided to pick 4 cards. And it's interesting, actually, the last 2 cards, I'm getting like different choices. So it's like there's 3 cards, and then there's kind of like, oh, there's another 3 cards. So I'm just going to pop these here. And for those of you that know the way I read on the test, just running my hands along. So, I'll always say, like, if we get a different deck, and Spirit will want us to feel in a different way. So what I'm actually getting at the moment, it's, sometimes like when you fall into something and we kind of surrender, they're showing me there's this energy. So with this wavelength or this frequency, we can actually just kind of like collapse our timeline, is what they're showing. So if we look at it through quantum physics, our physical body is about a tablespoon of actual material matter. The rest is on the light level, it's on the quantum. So if we can kind of like collapse this particle physical side, release and surrender and let go, and dive into this quantum potential. So I'll just see what else they're showing me. I just keep seeing the energy of the sun and the radiance, but I'm seeing it come out through the heart. So I really feel that it's to surrender, to actually tap into the deep wisdom of the heart. I'm seeing the third eye activate with this, and throat chakra and crown. So I feel that it's kind of to tap in and surrender more on the survival, like physical, emotional side of things, and to open up to higher potential. So I'll just flip the cards over. And this is really cool because we've got my card who I call self-concept. So she's like a little bit of a, that future that we're talking about feeling into, it really is getting so clear on like knowing what you want. So the first card, we've got 4 of disc, which is the power card. Now, this is Capricorn and Sun. So that's that determination, that knowing of like exactly where we want to go. It's also the physical body with the window to the soul right at the top. So with this, we see the sun starting to come in. Now, this is my card that also represents energetically kind of knowing like what frequency to open up to, or where to put that drawbridge up and to block out, be like, that's not for me. So we're being asked to reflect this between like as above, so below, into both realities. When we do, it's to come into like our new power, our new version of self. So we see with this Aries Princess of Disc that she commands reality to be the way that she sees it. So we see the trees upside down. She has this octahedron on the end of her wand, which is actually the platonic solid shape that we use for manifestation and for speeding up the process. What we're kind of hitting at the moment, though, speed bump wise, we need to stay in this frequency. The other cards that we're getting is 5 of discs, the 7 of swords, and 9 of swords. So collectively, there's still like a lot of purging and things to take place, but it's to try and stay in this other frequency at the same time. But we will still probably get like micro traumas and bumps and things from interacting on the 3D physical. And it's not about that we're letting go of it. We're learning a new navigation system is what they're showing. So be really gentle with yourself, making sure that you're making time to actually make this, the word protocol is what they're giving me. So have like your meditations morning, night, if you need to, if you're facing these kind of speed bumps, have it in the afternoon too. Whatever you can do to actually regulate your nervous system to come into alignment more with these divine frequencies will kind of ease the journey.
That is beautiful, Soretta. Thank you so much. Sophie, do you have anything to add to that?
Yeah, I love it. I really agree with you. I took the cards while you were speaking just to see if I had anything to add. And it's really that we do have, it says cycles, and we have the Hierophant. So I think we are in a cycle. Sorry, my cat is screaming as usual. She wants to be part of this. I'm going to let her do. We do have a cycle that is going to be, I think, finishing. And what is really interesting is that I have the card of nostalgia. And I think that we have a lot of people trying to hang on with what used to be secure for them, what used to be the old world. And we have tons of people that are fighting to stay in that energy and not grow up and not face the music and change and not being that jumping in that insecurity of the new world, in this new reality. So we have frozen in time with this energy of winter. And we have the Hangman, which is the mirror, sorry, which is the Hangman is the Pisces energy. It's usually the crown chakra, which you were talking about. So the advice for me would be that as hard as it is, it's embracing the part of your life where you don't have the comfort zone, and embracing, like you said, the routine of anchoring yourself more in the 5D, not in, well, the 3D is important also, but anchoring your 3D in the 5D would be the best option, meaning including in your routine of each day in your 3D life, a lot more of the 5D meditation, cleansing your house, making sure that your energy is always really good, making sure that you're releasing the blocks so you can have a better evolution and faster evolution. So much is trying to come in. I just think that you have this bubble around you saying, I don't, and maybe it's not you, don't take that personally, it's not a trigger. some people will have this bubble around them of I'm not sure I want to have something new, and it's like this evolution, it's bumping on this bubble, and it's just returning to source instead of letting this in and just letting this new vibration entering in every cell of your body and entering your life, and letting this energy anchor into this new world that we're trying to create.
Thank you, Sophie. That was beautiful. I'm so happy you guys are bringing up routine and spiritual practice, because I feel like in the spiritual community, in the holistic community, it's one of those trendy things. And it's kind of like a program in a way to meditate every day as soon as you wake up, or pray. Like there's like this little bit of programming to do that, just to do it, just so that means you're spiritual. But we're actually talking about to help us embrace this 5D energy, to help us embrace the huge shifts that are going on that are not always easy. There's rocky stuff that comes up, right? There's, like you said, Solretta, certain traumas that are going to come up. There's different world events that can possibly come up. It's going to help us to stay grounded and stable when we have some sort of practice, when we have some sort of routine, and whatever that is that resonates with you guys. You know, for some of us, it will be meditation. For some of us, maybe it's going for a walk. Maybe it's dancing, maybe it's chanting. There's different things for all of us. And I really find like just that idea that sometimes people do things in spirituality because it's what a certain teacher is saying to do, but why? You know, what's the why behind it? Whereas now having a routine, I'm just feeling so strongly, it's so important to keep us grounded. Do you guys resonate with that?
Yeah. What is your routine, guys? I'm just curious. What is your routine?
Well, okay, let me put myself in the, in the hot seat here. My personal routine at the moment is trying not to be hard on myself. Okay, so really noticing, like, I feel that program within myself because I've been into spirituality for a while, since I was a teenager. And there's like this program that if you don't meditate as soon as you wake up, then you're not spiritual, right? So I don't do that as soon as I wake up. I'm very like hyperactive, me personally. As soon as I wake up, I need to do something with my physical body. So I need to get up. I like to have a coffee. I like to dance. I like to listen to music, or go for a walk, or go outside and just kind of do some intuitive movement. Meditation for me is something I'm not doing regularly enough, and I know that it is good for me. And so that's something that I do want to incorporate more. For me, like movement is very important because I have a bit of a hyper energy. And also sound healing is like medicine for me. How about for you, Solretta? What's like your personal practices right now, routines?
Yeah. So I've just committed. I was looking at, the idea that it takes about 40 days for change to kind of land. And when we're looking at things from like more of a quantum physics level, it's about 42 to 56 days. So like 6 to 8 weeks. So I'm like, right, I'm going to commit to, I think it's around just after Easter. And so every day I've been doing hypnosis morning and night, because I find when I go through doing it twice a day, usually in about 2 weeks, I'll see big shifts and changes. So on about day 2, I started to get evidence of that showing up in the physical. And I think because I know that it creates such big shifts and change for me. So I wasn't so surprised, day 2, then day 3, then, day 4, when there's all these new things coming in that I'd been calling in. So I find that if I get into alignment with myself through hypnosis or through meditation, and what I mean by that is really just putting myself into more of like a receptive kind of theta state, or even like a deep delta, and just speaking to my subconscious mind, watching my thoughts. I've always been one to, speak quite kindly to myself, and to be careful if I, am frustrated with what I'm trying to do with myself or anything, really kind of reframing it. So it's really just kind of being accountable to the subconscious mind to try and carry that throughout the day. And of course, we're always going to have, different tests and challenges and that come up. So it's like what you were saying, Meg, just, going easy on yourself and actually being loving and kind while all of this transformation takes place. But I think I also know there's something big on the other side of this 6 to 8 weeks. So, by the end of April, I feel like it's that arrival at that new person, or sort of like the start of her. So at the moment, but yeah, I love dancing and singing, and I've got my singing bowls like right behind me as well. So definitely anything that will kind of like break up the frequency. But yeah, definitely reprogramming the subconscious mind is huge for me.
That is such a good point. That is so cool that you mentioned that. I think that's really important. And Sophie, how about you? What are some of your current routines or practices that you're doing?
I cannot stand a routine. Personally, I have my Mars. Mars represents motivation. So my Mars is in Aries. That means I cannot do long-term marathon effort routine. It's included. So I have to be flexible. I have to be understanding. And I think it's a good thing also to do a regular checkup of, okay, what is my need right now? So one of the things that I absolutely need is music. A lot of music, and my time in the morning. I do have to have a lot of time alone in the morning. So this is the two things that are really important. But I do not meditate. I cannot meditate. But during the day when I do the cards, it is a trance. It is a meditation. It is the affirmation that I do with before and after, and it is a trance. So for me, that counts. But for some people, it's just guided meditation is more easy for them than just doing on their own meditation. For me, I'm not a big fan. It doesn't work for me. But guided meditation, when I have a good one, I really love it.
Amazing. Cool. So we just got a cool comment here. Ben Thompson says, March is a woman with her legs open and birthing a baby. We're crowning now. Push. I think that is so true. And I want to talk to you guys about March and the energies of March. But before we get into that, just want to mention that we have personal consultations that we all offer. So Sophie and I have our consultations on MAISONJupiter.com, and Sophie offers amazing personal readings with the tarot and her intuition. And we've got a 10% off discount code for all the viewers of this show for Sophie's readings, which is Beyond Mystic. And Sophie, when are your next like booking availability openings? When are you starting to be open for?
For the 1 hour, it's in May, beginning of May, and for the 30 minutes, it's next Monday.
Amazing, cool. And I'm also offering my personal astrology consultations on MAISONJupiter.com. So that discount code is the same, Beyond Mystic there. And I think, yeah, I'm starting to book. I have openings in May or June, like you, Sophie. So that if you want to have a personal astrology reading with me, you can check that out. And Solretta also offers one-on-one consultations on her beautiful website right now. Is it www.solretta.com?
Yeah, that's right.
Beautiful. Thanks, awesome. Yeah. And so you can go to solretta.com to book a session with Solretta. And what kind of things are you offering at the moment, Solretta?
Yeah, so I always start my sessions with having a look into the client's aura. So I actually send an email of like the aura, and I outline what the different colors and frequencies are around someone at the moment. So we can look into like if there's past life gifts and skills returning, or if there's anything that's sort of popping up or kind of coming more in from the quantum, and we can kind of bring the awareness towards that and show like how to, I guess, navigate through future. But we also will chat with the guides around it. Then we usually pick a spread of cards to do with those energies, and the guides always give us confirmation. So sometimes you'll even see the same picture that's in the aura show up in the cards. So they're very good at kind of reaffirming things over and over. Or some sessions I'll get, the same card come up, 5-6 times. So Spirit's really clear on, yeah, we need to focus on this. But yeah, I do readings for couples. I do, at the moment, I've got a 1 hour session and a 1.5 hour session that's available on my website. And I am kind of a little bit more limited this year at the moment because I did 5 days a week reading last year. So I've cut back just a little because I'm working on some secret projects that can't wait to bring to the Beyond Mystic family. And yeah, it's exciting. It's just me tapping back into the creativity And yeah, I'm loving it, just having more balance this year.
Cool. Awesome. That's so important, that need for the balance between work and the personal things that we have to do. So amazing. And the discount code on your website, is it Beyond Mystic to get 10% off?
It
Yeah.
is. Thanks, Meg.
Okay. Amazing. And I don't know what's up with some of these comments. Larry Hansen says, don't forget to let JC out of the dungeon when you're finished with the show. Thanks, ladies. So I don't know, is that like an inside joke? Because I've seen some people talking about that we're keeping JC in a dungeon.
I think some people just don't know that JC is leaving us full trust on this show, The Divine Feminine. And it was really amazingly lovely on this Valentine's show where he popped in and he made us cry all together with the things that he said. So I'm going to use that moment just to, JC, if you're listening, thank you so much for that. Obviously, we were not prepared to receive so much love. So let's just, right now, just to say that we're absolutely returning that love right back to you. You're amazing. We love you so much. Thank you for trusting us on this beautiful show. And we're doing this with a lot of love. And this is partly because of you.
Yeah. Thank you, JC.
We love you, JC. Now I'm going to start crying. Thank you so much. So, okay, shall we get into the energies of March? Solretta, is it March 1st for you too?
Yeah, it is. It's so cute. My mom sent me a little text. She does pinch and a punch for the first of the month. So I'm like, I didn't even realize it was March until she texted me. So that was really cute.
What is it that she texts you?
Oh, she just says, she's got this little saying, it's an Australian thing. And so we'll do like a little pinch and a punch because it's the first of the month. So it's like whoever realizes it's the first. So it's like a thing we grew up with in school. So she's cute. She sends it to the grandchildren and yeah, it's gorgeous.
That is really cute. I've never heard about that before. That's cool.
Yeah.
So, yeah, March is a really big month in the astrology, which I'm sure a lot of us have already heard about this. Do you guys know a little bit about what's going on astrologically? Are you into astrology, Solretta? I think I heard you talk about that one time.
Yeah. Definitely not as heavy as yourself or Julie, but I love it. And I'm really, lockdown let me explore a lot more of Vedic astrology too. But I keep waiting for, I think it's around, it might be April and May. It's just like when I look ahead into the astrology, I'm like, this is a huge year. And I just did my solar return chart too. And I'm just looking at it going, I'm going to have to fly above this to navigate through this year. I'm just going to keep reaching to this other version of self because, it's a huge year.
And when is what's your astrological sign?
Yeah, so I'm a Leo with a Libra moon and Gemini ascendant.
Right. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Big year for you for sure. That's going to be really cool. So, March, we've got the beginning of the astrological new year. The real new year is on the spring equinox every year. So this year, that's going to be March 21st. So we've got that going on with March. We've also got the two malefic planets, Saturn and Pluto, ingressing into new signs. So Saturn entering Pisces on March 7th and Pluto entering Aquarius on March 23rd. And we've also got, when we get to the end of the month, we're going to start feeling the energies of the upcoming first very intense eclipse season of 2023. So we've got a new moon solar eclipse April 20th and a full moon lunar eclipse in Scorpio on May 5th, which is going to be super intense. So we're going to start to feel the energies of that at the end of March. And this is all about new beginnings and really fresh new energy. And I feel a new world. And like you guys have been talking about, Solretta and Sophie, this possibility to create whatever we want to create, that nothing is really set in stone. but there is an option for this beautiful new world, this beautiful new earth frequency. So should we maybe pull some cards on what we can expect for March? What's some of the guidance for March? Sophie, do you want to go first?
Sure.
Yeah.
Let's do it. What is the energy for March? And like for yesterday, I will try to manifest the best energy. We need that. We need great energy.
Yeah.
March energy. Gemini energy is there. I love it. So far, we have kids and kids and kids. So let me just grab the tarot deck. Kids underneath kids. That's interesting. So we have Gemini and Gemini. Those two cards for me represent the Gemini energy. Maybe you have a reason why we have so much Gemini energy, but Paige in this feels like the Mercury, the same energy. So this feels like a brand new, exciting beginning, very intellectual with Mercury. So maybe a lot of news will come up. Maybe a lot of conversation will come up also that will reveal new things. It's exciting because this is for me the energy of curiosity. It's without malice. So we are talking about something that is more vulnerable, a fresh new beginning, conversation that are fresh. We have the child again. So I don't know what is this theme. You will have to explain that to me. But for sure in March, we have fresh new beginning. Yes. But there's something more. 7 of Wands. This is the defense mechanism pushing back. So we are trying maybe in the month of March to maybe protect the children. I don't know what will be happening with the news, maybe around things that we cannot name here, but there will be news, I'm sure, about what is the school system or what is happening with the health system for the kids. There's something to watch in March for the children. The last message is, again, the child.
Oh my gosh.
It's intense. And we have 2 of Swords. Worst case scenario, I think that it's going to be with a lot of words that I cannot use here. You know what I'm saying? News that are going to come about this topic, about children. And best case scenario, we're talking about a lot of things that can heal them. And also us, we share those energy too. We share both divine masculine, divine feminine, but we have this inner child inside of us. So in those new beginning of the new year, it's important that we get that new curiosity, we get that excitement, we get that vulnerability, we get that fresh new beginning where we feel like we're growing in a new direction. So it's, yes, going to be about children, but it's also our own energy of the child. What do you think about that?
Wow. Loretta?
Yeah, that's amazing, Sophie, with the child card coming up so much too. And yeah, just goosebumps when you read it. So, so I can pick some cards and have a look into March and see what I'm feeling.
Yeah, sure.
So look in to see. It's interesting. The first thing that I saw with closing my eyes is actually, the movie E.T., and you've got that little face with the finger up, like E.T. phone home. I'm actually just seeing E.T.'s face like right here. So I do feel it could also be about like more in terms of ET contact, and especially if we've got these, other dimensional cities and places that are starting to come more into a vibrational alignment with us. So it could also represent more ET contact. And I guess we've seen, with the UFOs and things this year. And I forgot to mention, I think it was, Valentine's Day. I was seeing a lot of UFOs. My partner and I were outside and just so many UFOs flying over. And he's, a little bit of a skeptic, likes to kind of have things proven to him. So that was really cool. He's like, how are people not seeing? There's so many. Because we're talking like, I think it was like 50 UFOs in just a couple of hours sitting outside on the rocks near the river. So they're definitely trying to come into, whether it's to wake people up that are a little bit more skeptical or to kind of reveal themselves. And a lot of the time when I have been, sky watching or seeing UFOs, sometimes there's 1 or 2 people that won't see the UFOs and the whole group will be seeing it. So I think that it very much is to do with like our frequency alignment and to do with like the mental lenses that we put on our brain. So I would say with ET's face popping up here, start to let old forms of consciousness break down, that we are actually going to be accepting and taking in a new reality. So I'll just feel into this a little bit more. I'm seeing like a drip, drip, drip of golden drops coming in from higher consciousness into our third eye as well. So there might also be, information around paying attention to dreams. I'm just hearing spirit say the word insight. So with insight, they're actually breaking the word up. So I'm saying it's like inner sight. So, and they've got pointing to the heart. So it's definitely using the heart to actually start creating your vision for what you want to see and connect to, but it's also using that as a tool or format to download. So I'll just flip these over. Oh my gosh, this is cool. Okay, so we have the alchemy card. This is so much fun doing this with you girls.
Yeah.
We've got the art card, which is alchemy. This beautiful green heart-based being is using both sides of the consciousness, so subconscious and conscious mind. I also see this as ET working with us. And here's the drip, drip, drip coming in from, around the heart chakra. We've got this beautiful golden light, which in Hebrew is called Ori Malkif. It means the surrounding light of the Kabbalah. So it's talking about the creator and the creator's creation. So we're actually coming more into alignment with ET creation. And look at this, working together. There's something about working together with these beautiful beings that are aligned on a higher frequency. Now, we do know that there's certain words, as you guys were saying, we can't mention on here. So we know that there's ulterior plans and motives with some other agendas. So this is to really feel into your authentic intuition, to see and feel what's coming in from spirit. So I always say, check that they love you unconditionally, check that they're there for your best and highest good. I always will ask spirit 3 times, but we have the Magnus and the Hierophant. So with this Magnus, we see the little Achilles heel that has a little bit of a weak spot oracally. So it's about protecting and shielding yourself energetically, as well as knowing that it's a little bit of a Neo in the Matrix moment where the bullets are flying. And all of a sudden we're like, hold on, we don't have to follow this this kind of like path for reality or follow the matrix that's been downloaded and programmed. We can actually go directly to source. So this is about us being more in contact and receiving that higher state of awareness. Yeah, and so that's what I have for March. Is really exciting.
Wow, that is wonderful. Thank you so much. So some of the things you just mentioned there, Silretta, made me think about Sophie. You mentioned earlier before we started the show that you were feeling or hearing a lot of people having psychic attacks at the moment, right?
Yes.
So can we maybe talk about that a little bit, you guys? What are some good ways that what we were kind of feeling into before we started the show is because we're in this, I like to call it an in-between time, in between these worlds. And this is really, we're never going to be in a space like this again in this lifetime, I don't think, where we can decide, do we want to go on the higher timeline or stay on the older timeline, 3D one? That's a really big choice. And there are those forces that they're not going to win, but there are those kind of forces that want to try to keep us down. And what do you guys think are some good suggestions or practices for us to kind of do some extra protection at this time? Does that resonate, Sophie?
Yeah. I feel guided to do something weird. So let's go with the flow. Pisces energy, let's go with the flow. I would like to use this moment where we're all connected with good intention to maybe take a deep breath in. If you don't want to join, it's good. If you want to join, just take a deep breath in. And just imagine as you breathe out, a big white bubble of protection around you. Breathe in, breathe out. And this bubble of protection that is made of pure white light expands and goes all around this community. And as we all connect our bubbles, it makes it even brighter, even stronger, and we are all connected. We are all connected and protecting each other. And that makes us invincible. Nothing bad can touch us. Only love, only pure attention, and only protection can go through that. Thank you.
Thank you. That was lovely.
Yeah, thank you, Sophie.
Yeah. What are you feeling, Silretta, around that just protection at this time?
Yeah, so I feel nice and floaty after that one. That felt beautiful. And just like a group huddle or group hug with everyone connecting. So I just get that feeling, and I hear spirit say it's like safety in numbers. So the more that we, I guess, are engaging in this kind of format and connecting together to, this group consciousness where we have that same heart goal and that same, I guess, want and desire for the new frequencies we're anchoring, it helps to make it just 10 times stronger when we come together like this. And I always say, like, when I'm working with different things, and I've growing up always seeing things since a small child, I used to be really scared going to sleep at night by myself, and in my parents' room until I was about sort of 17 every night, going, there's something in my room. And they'd come in and check and didn't see the mandalas floating, or like ETs, things like this, because it is all frequency. So what I learned, I guess, with that self-navigation is to frequency shift. So it's so important to change and upgrade our frequency, just like we would with a firewall protection or an IP address on the computer. So if I notice that I am getting pulled into different things, I'll just take a few moments, like Sophie was saying, surround yourself with protection. And I'll usually ask, what does like my color look like right now? Or aura, is there a shape that's associated with it? And then I'll pick a new shape, a new color, and I'll feel myself like dial just a couple more stations higher. And you sometimes will see, I guess, anything that's like of a lower frequency or more trickster energy like this, like trying to kind of blindly look and feel in. So I just find that stops getting hijacked. But yeah, I mean, that's rare that you have to adjust or kind of fight things off. It more is just staying in protection, like Sophie said, is one of the most important, powerful tools.
Mm-hmm. Wonderful. Thank you. And I also find that when we're just, taking care of our physical vessel, taking care of ourselves through eating in whatever way feels good and is healthy for us personally, we're all unique, we all have different bodies, but when we're eating right, depending on our body type, when we're exercising, when we're doing positive things, having positive habits, that makes our energy field strong. When we're going out in nature, barefoot on the ground, when we're going out for walks or exercising, makes our energy strong. When we're doing things that open up our heart, things that we're passionate about and we love, that makes our energy field strong. So that's also, protection just from being strong energetically. And Spirit's kind of showing me right now, like, we really are like light warriors. I hope you guys don't mind me, everyone in our community, me saying that, but it is really like we're warriors of love and light right now, holding those frequencies on the planet while so much is being purged and cleansed that has been here for a long time, that is not allowed to be here anymore. And it is being released. And we are supported in these energies being released, but we have to do maintenance to get through it as effortlessly as possible and just have that natural protection of all the ways that we just mentioned. So, and I also want to mention that we're in this last week of Saturn in Pisces. Did you guys know that? Have you guys heard about that?
No.
Yeah. So Saturn has been in the sign of Aquarius, which is one of its home signs, where Saturn is at its most powerful. When it's in Capricorn or Aquarius, Saturn entered Aquarius, I believe it was March 20th or 21st, 2020. And literally the next day or a couple days after was when the lockdown started and that whole situation started. So we're in a little bit of what I'm calling like a completion cycle of the deception of the past 3 years. Saturn, as hard as that was, it was like, I feel like we had to go through that to kind of wake up as many people as possible, to put us in that space where we were, a lot of us locked down, looking at information on our phones or computers a lot more. It woke a lot of people up, as hard as it was. But now Saturn is entering Pisces. So the challenges, Saturn brings challenges and hard karmic lessons, are going to be around the sign of Pisces. And Pisces rules disillusionment, drugs, substances. So something that I'm just feeling really guided to mention at this time right now, you guys, is what is going to keep you strong and spiritually connected is that which is natural. We don't have to do something outside ourselves to try to connect to God or try to connect to the universe. And I'm not saying that plant medicine is bad, okay? It's not something that I personally practice at the moment. If you are going to be doing plant medicine or different kinds of medicines that are hallucinogenic, or even drinking a lot of alcohol or smoking a lot of weed, okay? And I'm not trying to demonize that, but just saying, while Saturn is in Pisces, you got to make sure if you're going to be doing that stuff, you're in the totally right environment. You're with practitioners or facilitators that know what they're doing and how to hold space, because there are energies that are going to try to infiltrate. And like Solretta was using that word, tricksters, okay? We're not going to get possessed and lose control of our lives, but there's like these trickster energies trying to mess with us. And particularly when we do use, substances to try to bring us into a different state, that's when we're vulnerable, right? So I'm just feeling that really strong. Does that resonate with you guys? Just that, or, just actually being grounded in the physical reality while Saturn is in Pisces, and being really cautious. What Spirit's telling me to say is being very cautious whenever we're going to actually drink alcohol or smoke marijuana or maybe do a plant medicine. I'm hearing Spirit say, be very, very careful when you do those things while Saturn is in Pisces.
But it's not just about that. It's about illusions too. So be very careful also when you put any situation on a pedestal, when you put that situation so high in your mind that you keep that in illusion. So in love, in a job, like I said, in any kind of situation, if you are in the illusion with the Pisces, it's really easy to have this fairy tale about an idea. But Saturn will bring you to realize that if you're not committed to your energy in the right place to build something solid, you're building an illusion with the Pisces energy. It's not to be a good use of your energy. So something can happen around that time. I'm assuming that you're going to have to be realistic about what is your goal, what is your dream. If you have a dream, good for it, but you need to build something that is realistic. Do you agree with that, Meg?
Totally agree with that. And that's actually, I think, an even better way of putting it. It's not just the drugs or the, plant medicine or things that are hallucinogenic, but it's like that word you said, any type of like illusion, or bringing us into a fantasy, or bringing us into another totally different dimensional state, right? Because when Saturn is in Pisces, we're going to feel like, I'm telling you guys, when March 7th, when Saturn goes into Pisces, it's not going to feel the same anymore. And then March 23rd, when Pluto goes into Aquarius, it's really not going to feel the same anymore. And we're going to need to be extra grounded, extra stable. So just, feeling that coming through, you guys. We're all good. We're all good. But it's like we're these warriors in a way of having to be in the love frequency and holding that frequency and being really grounded. So do you guys have anything else to add to that?
No, I just agree. Yeah. And I think, even the other thing I'm getting shown is, I guess, more supportive herbs that just nurture that heart space, things like rose, like I make alchemy teas. And so like things like I would be making a lot more rose at the moment with cinnamon and things that are going to nourish us on a soul level too. So if you are still feeling, plant medicine, you can kind of meditate with energy of tea rather than a full-blown psychedelic experience.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, wonderful. So we're getting near the end of the show, guys. Time goes by so fast. I can't believe it. Is there anything else that you guys feel like sharing?
Maybe the last card?
Sure.
Do you want to start, Sarita?
Yeah, so I'll just pick some cards. I just keep seeing that ET face right here. And I've actually had an interaction with an ET that looks exactly like ET. When he appeared to me, it was interesting. There's like this golden light that kind of emanates out of him. And he just has this feeling of like a really, really old, ancient, wise energy. It's almost like existing from the very beginning of time. So I do feel that like the teachers are showing up for us more in the spirit realm side of things. The other thing that I have seen is it's kind of like it's up to us right now. Spirit's kind of taking a little bit of a back seat, but there is the wisdom there to draw upon if we do need the help. But it's kind of that end of the game time where all of the star players are on the court. You know, we know what the goal is, we know what we have to do and shoot for. So yeah, that's the message I'm getting. But I'll pick some cards just to have a look. I've just got the Star Tarot deck, and I'm just getting guided to pick a few. So we'll flip these ones over. These work a little differently. So interesting, we have 10 of Swords. So what you said, Meg, about when we come into the 7th of March, with the other planetary positions that will come in, that we'll be leaving behind the old, that it won't feel the same as what it once did. And I think you girls said that on the Divine Oracles Valentine's Day show. You were talking about how holidays aren't feeling the same, which I totally agree with. Things really, Christmas, Valentine's Day, and I don't feel Easter's going to feel the same. But yeah, we've got 10 of Swords energy. For me, the 10 of Swords are always kind of pointed towards the heart. So it's the heart energy to really kind of, I guess that's the bit that we hold on to that's intact, that's not really destroyed. Yes, things will come close to the heart and feel like we're ruined. But at the same time, if we can still use that, we can kind of hold on to something a little bit more solid. We've also got the Leo energy with the strength, and we've got the 9 of Cups, which is this beautiful frequency of hope. To me, this is Jupiter Piscean energy, and it's flowing from the spiritual realms and letting it come into, you know, all of the other planes and dimensions. But she also represents hope. So if we can just keep tuning into the frequency of hope rather than despair and the destruction that's happening, because, you know, and my thoughts and prayers go out to what's happening in the US with a lot of the things that are not being shown on the mainstream news side of things. You know, we need to kind of keep rising above that frequency too. And yeah, just wanted to send you guys my love.
That's beautiful. Thank you. Yeah. And Sophie?
Yeah. It just hit me that the three of us are not in the same country or in the same continent at this moment. That's so wild. Okay.
Yeah.
So I have the 10 of Cups. 10 of Water is a 10 of Cups. In this deck, it's very, well, in any deck, it's a very positive card in general. But in this, I think you are also seeing a lot of ending with things that, again, this is the Pisces energy with the ending of maybe something that was fairy tale-like in love or anything. But since I have Cupid and Enchanted, I'm assuming that it's going to be really affecting relationship, to review your relationship to see if you are really connecting, because the Pisces energy, it's really dreamy, but it needs a connection to the source. And it can be done through yourself with meditation, like we said, or any other practice. But sometimes people trying to reach that with a partner. And Enchanted, the rose is the higher vibration for the flowers. So it's very high vibration. And it's usually something that we see for Lady Nada. So the very high priestess, the very high energy that heals with this rose. So I like to see that for the next month. I like to see this high energy. And it's also aiming for something that you absolutely want to bring you joy, that will bring you that pleasure. So maybe that Cupid is actually you aiming at what you desire and saying, no, I'm going to go in action and I'm going to aim for what I really want. So a bit more of power here instead of losing.
Yeah. I love what I think, was it you, Sophie, or Silretta? Sorry, I'm getting some of the messages jumbled up. I think it might have been Silretta when you were talking about hope and holding on to hope instead of the despair. That felt like really, really important and really powerful. Yeah. And Sophie, you said something along those lines too, and you keep saying that nothing is set in stone. And that really resonates with me. Like, let's focus on what we want to create. And it kind of feels like too, what Spirit's making me feel is a lot of these events that happening, I'm not saying that they're all fake or anything like that. You know, what we're seeing in the States or what we're seeing other places, I think, you know, most of them are real, but it's also like the energy of they're trying to create chaos.
Yes.
For us to hold on to that despair and that fear and let go of our hope. And it's in this moment now more than ever, we need to be, like you were saying, holding on to that hope, holding on to that co-creative vision of what we want to create and holding that together.
And that love vibration too. That's really important to stay in that love vibration.
Yes, totally, totally. So yeah, thank you ladies so much for all your amazing wisdom. Let's share some of the things that we've got going on coming up. So this is the Beyond Mystic and MAISON Jupiter show schedule for the upcoming week. So tomorrow on Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern, I've got my weekly Beyond Astro forecast that's going to be up on the Beyond Mystic channel, where I get into the astrology for the upcoming week. And then at 4 p.m. Eastern, we have the Jean-Claude and Jeanine Rumble show, the world famous Rumble show that I think last week or the week before, you guys, did you see that it was number 5 on Rumble on the
Really?
videos? Yeah. Yeah. So there was like 200,000 views or something like within a day or two. So yeah, Rumble is really kicking off, which is amazing. And then at 5 p.m. Eastern on Wednesdays, Sophie and I have a new show that we're starting called The Psychic Spies, which is going to be a pay-per-view video on BeyondMystic.net. Sophie, do you want to talk a little bit about that, what our new show is going to be about?
Sure. So it's going to be, we're going to pick one person each week. So it's going to be either somebody in the news or either a person from interest in the historical figures. And we're going to basically do a bit of a deep dive, and we're going to do it with the astrology, with the tarot, and we're going to explore also some event or some partnerships that this person had or have. And just really seeing what was redacted from maybe the news, redacted from history, and just to see our own spin on things, what is really there that we can dig on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's going to be super fun. I'm so excited for that. And should we tell everyone who our first, what would they be called? Our first
victim.
Victim.
Go ahead.
Bill Gates. That was even hard for me to say. My throat chakra didn't even want me to say that. Bill Gates. I will say that clearly. So we're going to be investigating Bill Gates this week. So that episode will be out. Is it going to be out tomorrow, Sophie? Do you know? Or
yes.
Yeah, it'll be out tomorrow. So check that out, guys, in the pay-per-view videos. And every week, Solretta has her Beyond Reality weekly forecast, which goes live on the Beyond Mystic YouTube channel at Tuesdays at 12 p.m. Eastern. And Sophie has her Beyond Tarot weekly forecast that goes live on the Beyond Mystic channel Mondays at 12 p.m. Eastern. And you also do the really cool pick a card readings, Sophie, which is on the MAISON Jupiter YouTube channel. And those go live Thursdays at 12 p.m. Eastern. And also want to mention that there's a new Astro Woo, Astro and Tarot sign by sign readings videos. That's on BeyondMystic.net. And that's where every month Julie, Jeanine, and JC get into the astrology and tarot for each sign. So this is the one for March. And that's available now on BeyondMystic.net. That's awesome. I watched that one today. It was really, really good. So check that out, you guys. And we've also got a new full moon singing bowl meditation coming up with Elena and Jeanine. And this is going to be a super powerful one because it's the Virgo full moon. And this is the last full moon of our astrological year that we're in before we have the spring equinox and the new astrological new year. And Virgo is all about detox and purification. So mark your calendars. That's going to be March 8th at 3 p.m. Eastern, and it's going to be live. And we're going to give the registration details soon in the coming days. So stay tuned for that. And last but not least, Julie also does amazing art print personalized birth charts that are available at the MAISON Jupiter website under personalized birth charts on the website. So those are beautiful art prints of your birth chart with a full description of your birth chart as well. So if any of you guys are interested in that, check that out. And I think that is everything, you guys. Am I missing anything? Is there anything else that we're feeling to share?
No, please comment how Meg did a wonderful job tonight, because she did. Thank you, Meg. Thank you so much for joining.
Thank you, guys. It's been an absolute pleasure spending divine feminine oracle time with you two. I have just met you, Solretta, but I love you and I love your energy, and I'm honored to be working with you, and the same with you, Sophie, and everyone on the Beyond Mystic Maison Jupiter family. Just so blessed, feeling so blessed to be a part of this. So we love all of you guys out there, our soul family. Have an absolutely amazing week. And the three of us will see you again next Wednesday for the next Divine Feminine Oracle show. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. We love you all. Bye.
Thank you. Thanks,
Bye.
Meg. Thanks, Sophie.